Start your own fire and keep it burning.
Number 10, Airstream Trailers.
Look at that thing. Gigi, do you see it? Oh my gosh, it's all roundy.
Did you just say roundy?
In the 1920s, Wally Byam began building caravans in his backyard. Some years later, he put a name to his creation, the Airstream. The rest is history. While the company has understandably outgrown Byam's backyard, their manufacturing plant hasn't actually gone too far. In fact, they all come from development compounds in Jackson Center, Ohio. It's not like the Airstream is strapped for orders either. At one point, their production increased to almost 4,000 luxury trailers a year.
It's a thing of beauty and has been an icon on the road for more than 80 years.
The Airstream is technically sold worldwide, but whether you buy one in Europe or the United Kingdom, they're all coming from the USA.
We don't take adventures. They take us.
Number 9, Zippo lighters. You know what they say, where there's smoke, there's fire. Thanks to Zippo, there's a whole lot of both in the United States. Their sales figures pretty much speak for themselves. By 2012, the company had built 5 million lighters. If you think that's impressive, the real kicker is that almost every single one was made on American soil. That's right, besides a brief stint in Ontario, Canada, Zippo receives most of their stock from their factories in the United States. Even when Zippo lighters are sold internationally, they're often seen as a symbol of the United States.
Start your own fire and keep it burning. And we guarantee you'll have one hell of a lifetime.
Number 8, Lodge cast iron cookware. These pots and pans are made of more than just quality material.
They're available everywhere, they're ultra affordable, and they do everything you'd want a pan to do.
They're built from a legacy that stretches all the way back to 1896. Back then, Joseph Lodge founded the company in a small factory in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee.
5 generations later, the Lodge family is still at the helm, and we're the oldest manufacturer of cast iron cookware in America.
More than a century later, the Lodge company is still working out of that same factory. To put things in perspective, that kind of tenure has earned it the record for the oldest cast iron cookware manufacturer in the entire United States. Descendants of the Lodge family operate the company to this day, and clearly they have no intention of leaving the place that served them so well. Number 7, Jack Daniel's Whiskey. It's only natural that a so-called Tennessee whiskey is distilled in Tennessee, but that hasn't always been the case. After the passing of Prohibition in 1910, the famed Jack Daniel's distillery moved operations to Missouri and Alabama. Then, as if uprooting their company wasn't hard enough, they later had to completely cease operations due to the whiskey ban during World War II. Yeah, Jack Daniel's has been through a lot, but despite it all, the one constant is that they always package their drinks in America.
And it's the mix of local and global materials that gives Jack Daniel's distinction.
In return, the original distillery is now listed on the National Register of Most Historic Places in the United States. Number 6, Yankee Candles. The American dream smells pretty good, if you ask us. Michael Kittredge agreed and made that scent a reality by melting crayons together as a kid. Later, demand for his homemade candles turned into a full-on career, and soon enough, an entire empire. The explosive growth of Yankee Candle could have easily warranted a global launch, but instead, Kittredge kept it local.
Definitely helped out this South Deerfield forever. Brought people to town, brought business. The guy did a lot for this town.
Even though he's since sold the company, the majority of Yankee Candles continue to be made in Kittredge's home state of Massachusetts. With over 250 box stores in nearly 50 different countries, it's safe to say this candle won't be going out anytime soon.
Designed to add the perfect finishing touch to your home.
Number 5, KitchenAid stand mixers. Everyone needs to eat, and as such, most KitchenAid products are made and distributed worldwide.
Helping chefs create great cuisine.
Except for one item in particular, the KitchenAid stand mixers.
A man named Herbert Johnston invented the electric mixer when he watched a baker mixing bread by hand, and he thought there must be a better way.
They aren't just what put the company on the map, they're quite literally what created the brand in the first place. So you can see why there'd be some protectiveness about its assembly.
Other than adding new colors, the KitchenAid is essentially the same today as it was in 1969. Even the attachments from those older models fit today's machines.
While the die casts come from international plants, the actual mixers are solely put together by a factory in Greenville, Ohio. Even though other KitchenAid appliances are sometimes manufactured out of the country, the creation of the stand mixers remains a USA exclusive. Number 4, Harley-Davidson motorcycles.
Go. Just go. Leave no mile unturned. And leave a trail of stories in your wake.
Whether you're a professional, an enthusiast, or have never touched a motorcycle in your life, you've probably heard of Harley-Davidson. And that's for good reason.
Harley-Davidson created a product line of things like gloves and hats and jackets and saddlebags, a lifestyle around their motorcycle. It's a brilliant marketing move.
They've been through ups and downs on their way to becoming one of the most prolific and influential biking manufacturers ever. So much so that they've expanded well past America's borders. However, the bulk of their production remains steadfastly within the United States.
Harley is more than a motorcycle. It's a state of mind.
They've even got the hometown support to prove it. Harley-Davidson has been assembling bikes in Milwaukee, Wisconsin ever since their founding in 1903. There's no reason to believe that will change anytime soon. Number 3. Crayola crayons. If you're ever in the mood to get some crayons, Easton, Pennsylvania is the place to be. There's the Crayola headquarters, a ton of crayon manufacturing shops, and more colors than you could ever hope to have in a single box.
6 colors, 16 are new! What a big box! Humongous too!
Despite the fact that the company has spread out overseas a bit more since the 2000s, the vast majority of crayons still come from Crayola's home base in Pennsylvania.
At Crayola, our crayons are made by dedicated workers here in the U.S. Many of them are from families who have worked here for 4 generations.
Even before they moved into town, the trendsetter had always advertised itself as being proudly made in America. How they make so many different colors in one place, we'll never know.
Crayola, the box of crayons where the reds, whites, blues, and all the colors are made in the USA.
Number 2, Hershey Chocolate. It's not hard to guess where in Pennsylvania this candy company makes most of their stock. But what is surprising is that the chocolate bar actually came first. Hershey, Pennsylvania was unofficially founded in direct response to the creation of the factory of the same name.
Hershey is a 21st century company with over 120 years of heritage. Hershey is a pretty great place to work, but it's a great place to play as well.
Or should we say factories, since there are actually 2 of them. With brand recognition like that, it's obvious why the lab hasn't moved since.
So while it seems like a very simple product and anyone can make chocolate, it's really very hard, very challenging. There's a lot of science and technology in it.
There are a smattering of international locations and branches in other parts of the country. But still, nothing touches the iconography of Hershey being made in Hershey.
Hershey is the great American chocolate bar.
Number 1, Budweiser beer.
Let's brew some beer.
For something named after a German word, Budweiser sure has left its mark in the United States, at least as far as history is concerned. See, Budweiser's popularity goes back so far, it's considered the very first national beer brand in America. That grassroots support is reflected in their distillery locations. The beer's parent company, Anheuser-Busch, has opened 13 breweries over the years, and every single one of them was based out of the United States.
This is where we package all of our wonderful high-quality products here with Anheuser-Busch. Up to, say, 1,250 bottles a minute for 12-ounce bottles.
The flagship distillery in St. Louis, Missouri, has been operational since 1852. Beer may not get better with age, but evidently, beer companies are a different story. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.